Hi everyone, I know it's been a while since I've posted. I think it's been about a little over a year now since I've posted anything at all about physical therapy or where I'm at or answered any of your guys' questions, which I apologize for, but I have gotten a lot of messages over the year, especially on my Instagram. You guys definitely direct messaged me, which was really cool to see. Anyway, it's been a crazy year. Yeah, I got a physical therapist assistant job at an outpatient clinic, so I worked there for a year, and then I had a baby. So I worked when I was pregnant for 9 months, or till 38 weeks, and then now I'm on maternity leave, so I have a little bit more time on my hands. I have been asked 2 questions that have kind of been on my mind lately that I have not addressed yet. So the 2 most common questions that I do get is, 1, how has COVID affected physical therapy? And the second one is the physical therapist assistant career, is it dying out? I think it's really interesting that people ask that second question. First, I'm going to address how COVID has affected physical therapy. So I'm going to have to bring you guys back to March 2020 to address this, because that's kind of when everything changed. So I had been working in the clinic for about 3 or 4 months and around there, and we heard about COVID and everything, and we started seeing changes happen. So about every week we would have meetings and something would change. So we got the masks. That was kind of the first thing. Everybody had to wear a mask, and we had to take everybody's temperature, and then we had to obviously meticulously clean everything, which we did kind of anyway, but there was more things, like we had to have signs that said clean and not clean. We had to separate, we had lots of rules. Like we had to separate, the tables had to be 6 feet apart. The exercise equipment had to be 6 feet apart. I went from having 12 to 14 patients to around 3 to 6 patients, which was hard. So I had to, work the front desk for a little while, which was kind of crazy. I got to talk to a lot of people that way and do a lot of their work, which was kind of interesting to me, because I had it was a different side of things. That's kind of how it changed. I was grateful that the place that I worked didn't completely shut down, because I did have a couple friends who are physical therapist assistants who I went to school with who did get furloughed or fired. I think both of them actually got their jobs back. So a lot of people, I think this particular person worked at a skilled nursing facility, but she got furloughed, but I think she got hired back. And then the other one was an outpatient facility, and she wasn't an outpatient facility. She worked at an outpatient facility that furloughed her for about 2 months, and she got her job back. But she didn't have a job for 2 months, which would be kind of crazy. And I think they got maybe unemployment. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure how that works. But I was lucky that I did not get furloughed or fired or anything, which I was really happy about, and I felt very grateful for. We had in my company, they did fire. I just don't consider it firing, because it's not like they did anything wrong. It's just COVID was crazy, right? They let go of 2 of our physical therapy techs. So that was really hard, because they have a livelihood too, and they didn't foresee it coming. Like my boss came in and they fired them. So it was a big deal, and they didn't get hired back. Those techs did not get hired back. So it was kind of crazy how things changed very quickly, and it's kind of sad the way things turned out that way. I can't think of really any other changes that happened. It was following the law and keeping up with the news and what was going on at the time and what our company suggested us to do. And it was a lot of patient by patient basis. I mean, we have private rooms, so some patients felt more comfortable going into a private room. Some patients wanted you to wear a certain type of mask and they would give you it, or a lot of patients wouldn't come in. Like I said before, my patient load totally decreased, which for business is not the greatest. So luckily our company was able to abide by the standards, and we were able to totally come back. And I think I don't even know how long it took, but eventually I got back to a full patient load, which was great. So that's kind of that. The second question I wanted to address is the PTA field, is it dying out? Is physical therapist assistant, is that career completely dying out? I mean, this can be an opinion question too, but I say it's not. I've never had an issue finding jobs. I guess after I passed my test, which I failed the first time, which I have a whole other video about, but when I passed, I got a job, within a month or two, which was good for me. That's what I kind of wanted. Yeah, because I took the test, I think, in October, and I got a job in December. So, that was the turnaround for me. I've never had a trouble finding like an opening for a PTA job. There's always tons of places to apply to. That being said, this is like a little like asterisk, but I think the best way to go about finding a job is to contact the hiring or the HR person. So call the company and ask for the HR email and email them your resume. I feel like that's more, I don't know, I feel like it's more personal than the Indeed, because I don't know, I mean, that's what worked for me. I found a card that they came to like a job fair, and I emailed the HR manager, and she had an interview for me like a week later. So, and then I got hired. So, I mean, it just kind of depends on how you go about finding a job, where you want to find a job, what state you're in, because it can totally differ by state. I mean, I live in Virginia. That's what I know. So I've never had an issue finding a job, and I'm kind of in a very populated area as well that has a lot of clinics. So you kind of have to decide for yourself where you want to live and if there are opportunities there for you. Because, if you live out in the middle of nowhere, there's one clinic, it's probably going to be harder for you to find a physical therapy job. That's whether you're a PT, PTA, PT Tech, any of it. That being said, you can work in so many different capacities as a PTA. I mean, it's pretty endless. I mean, you can work in a hospital, skilled nursing facility, obviously an outpatient clinic, and you can work in home. You could be a home PT. I think that's what it's called. I don't know, I don't do that, but you can work as a PTA and go to people's homes and help them out that way. And you can work PRN, part-time, full-time. So it's pretty, I feel like it's a very versatile, it's very versatile. That being said, I do not think that the PTA career is dying out at all. I think that it's gonna stay there for quite some time. I've never, like, while I've worked as a PTA, I've never heard anyone say, oh, your career is dying, isn't it? Like that sucks. I've never had that. But if you want to comment your experience down below, if you've had any kind of instances, like weird COVID instances, or if you've worked in a capacity where things were kind of weird, comment down below. I want to hear you guys' stories, or message me on my social media Instagram, which is dani.stuller. If you want to message me on there, I usually get back to people right away. So that would be awesome if we could kind of compare stories, or like, I want to hear if you live in a different state and you have a completely different experience, I want to hear about that too, because I haven't heard of anything, but maybe you have a totally different perspective, and I'd love to hear it, and I think everybody else would too. So anyway, it was fun kind of catching up. So I have a lot of personal stuff on my Instagram that I post, keeping up with my life. If you're interested about that, I don't know why you would be. You're here for physical therapy. I kind of want to try and incorporate more physical therapy things into my Instagram, but it's kind of weird because I'm like, do I have to cite the things that I post? Because of course I have a lot of knowledge about physical therapy and I could post a lot of different things on there, but I'm like, do I have to cite it? I don't know. comment down below if you know what to do about that. Like, I don't know what the laws are. My specialties in my outpatient clinic were I did a lot of pelvic health, which I had no idea I was ever going to do. I did a lot of outpatient sports, like post operation. I did a lot of shoulders and knees, and then I had a therapist that specialized in low back injuries, so I did a lot of low back pain. So I don't know, if you're interested in something like that, if you have any ideas of what I could do on Instagram for like informational things, because it's just that platform for me, I feel like is a little bit more like I updated a lot more than I do on my YouTube. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. But it was good posting another video. I hope that kind of helped clear up some of the questions that I've been asked. So I will hopefully make another video. If you want to contact me, that'd be great. But until then, I'll talk to you guys later. See ya. Bye-bye.